It's kind of like marketing mysticism. I think it's this idea of like, how can you get inside and actually, create memories for people? Something that actually is a bit more lasting than just, I need to go buy another bottle of Tide and do my laundry tonight.
Michael, thanks for spending some time with me.
Absolutely.
And Daryl, I'm in love with your dog. You have a fabulous company name. I don't know the background to it, but what's Sub Rosa?
Sub Rosa is Latin for conversations had in private, which is really the brunt of what we do. We sit down with brands, we understand, what are their deep dark secrets, what do they want, what do they need to change, what do they need to fix, and then we help them try to get there. Levi's came to us and said, we're going to launch a new print and TV campaign called Go Forth. This is rewinding about maybe 2.5 years ago. And after a couple weeks, we came back and said, what we want to do is go to cities that are important to you, and we want to build physical spaces and create content around particular crafts where pioneers are now organizing. And they said, well, what the hell does that mean? And we said, well, in San Francisco, we're going to go to the Mission, and we're going to take this old laundromat, and we're going to gut renovate it, and we're going to build a letterpress and screen printing print shop.
Beautiful.
Free, open to the public, come inside, learn how to print. You don't have to buy a pair of jeans. There's probably only going to be 10 there anyway, because it wasn't about driving sales. It was about driving equity in the brand and teaching people what Go Forth means today. GE asked us a couple of years ago to reinvent the mammography experience, the breast exam and sort of the technology that goes around it, and cancer detection in the breast.
Yeah.
We don't know what the hell we're doing in that category. We told them that. We said, we're not a healthcare business. We don't have healthcare researchers. This is uncharted territory. And they said, that's exactly why we're asking you to do this. Because if we ask a healthcare firm, they're going to give us things we already know. We want to know what we don't know. We opened a physical space again where we invited women patients, doctors, cancer survivors, the usual suspects to come in and tell us what they thought the problems were inside the organization. But then what we did on top of that was we invited some unusual suspects. We invited the design team from Victoria's Secret, because a lot of women said that the gowns you get when you go to the hospital for a breast exam are terrible. It's the same gown you get when you are diagnosed with cancer, and you immediately psychologically start to feel sick when you have to put it on.
Oh, totally.
So how can we talk with garment designers about creating something different? We brought in the design team, the retail design team from Kiehl's, to talk about how do you design environments that are convivial yet clinical, so that they can actually be something better than just some terrible hospital waiting room with shitty magazines from a long time ago sitting on the table. The biggest complaint everyone says is that the first complaint is that it's painful. But the second biggest complaint, almost as many people who said that it was painful said the rooms are freezing cold. That seems like something we could change. And we figured we'd hear less complaints of pain, because when you're warm, generally you're not as sensitive to sharp pains and things like that. And it was true. But the more important thing we found was that when you increase that temperature, you actually increase the rate of cancer detection by 12%.
Wow.
Because your muscles are more relaxed when they're warm, and so light actually travels more efficiently to find cancer.
Yeah.
So what we came back to GE and built for them was a strategy about not just looking at the machine, but looking at the overall experience, the temperature, the waiting rooms, the gowns, everything, so that you can improve what the ultimate experience is for patients and for their business. Being a creative entrepreneur is the ability to find problems and also solve them. I think that every entrepreneur is a problem solver, but the way in which we solve problems here, I think, is through creativity. Every time we get a new batch of talent coming in out of art schools and things like that, I sit down and I talk about the fact that this isn't fine art, this is commercial art. And I think there's a massive difference. I believe that brands, frankly, are our Medici family. They're the new patrons of art. And if you want to actually make something amazing, unless you're a fine artist, if you're a commercial artist, brands are your patrons, and you're going to have to listen to what they want, and you're going to have to try to make your David through their brief.
My wife's a fine artist, so I
so
struggle with that, and I'm a designer, so I'm a hired gun, and I think to her, it's the hardest thing in the world is to wake up and say, today I have to invent something, today I have to market it, today I have to sell it, and then I have to give birth to it, and then I have to go through postnatal and do it all over again. So I live with that all the time. So that's really good counsel, actually. I think it's brilliant.
I hope it helps your marriage.
Yeah.